Hello everybody, and welcome to a spectacular video, I'm sure. Today's video is going to be another Hamfest purchase video, everybody's favorite. I know it is for mine. But before we get started, let's talk about shop safety, shall we? First, get a shop. Now, a few things are a little different here. Primarily the audio. Over the last several months I have bought some junk, of course. What else does Jack do? We have bought a microphone. We bought that microphone right there. Wasn't really on the market to buy a microphone. Lord knows I have plenty, but I was at one of my favorite out-of-state, how do we say, ham and hi-fi dealerships. Enjoy that place. Go there as often as I can, and I purposely make trips so I can go there. I generally just wear this lapel microphone. This is a Radio Shack mono lapel microphone, and it's been fantastic. The catalog number on this is 33-1052, and you guys have heard this microphone over the last 5 years or about. When Radio Shack was going out of business, I bought 3 of these, and I've been using this one successfully ever since then. The little clippy is back there on my computer desk. I've been fat and happy with this microphone. No complaints. But if you've ever wore a lapel microphone, sometimes it can be challenging. You get the wires in your way. I don't wear a button up. I wear my shirts tucked in, so I don't route the wiring underneath my garments. Wore them on the outside, and I would clip this in my shirt pocket along with the voice recorder. And sometimes you would see the wires protruding from me. No big deal. This ain't a high-dollar production video anyway, but it was there and you saw it. No big deal. Sometimes the wire gets in the way, but it allowed you to be free, and when the camera's off to your side like this one is, you know, you're not always looking at the microphone, and this way you got good audio, good forward audio, and allows you to move about the cabin as needed. So this one, let me show it to you in where I have it. I have it right there, and my monitor is right there. So I got it right here, close to me, about 10 inches from me. And I've got it ported down into a new purchase, which is this Behringer UB1002 soundboard, and going into my digital recorder. And that recorder is what I've used for the last several years, and that's a Sony something or another. I know it's a material, but for those that want to know, it is a Sony Icd-Ax-412, and it is a one of those personal voice recorders that you put in your pocket or you take to lectures or whatever. And that voice recorder is nothing new. You've been listening to that for the last 5 years as well. And it's great for pulling audio, and then I sync it to my reference audio in the camera. And again, you've been listening to this setup for the last 5 years. Sometimes I get a little fat and lazy, and I just use the camera because I don't big production. So that's new to this channel, and hopefully it's going to work out fine. This is its maiden voyage as far as the microphone is concerned, but not for the soundboard and the audio recorder. That you actually heard in the Regency digital flight scanner repair video. You heard that at the very last video where I ported the scanner into the soundboard, into the digital recorder, and I recorded my audio that way. And I think that's going to work out just perfect, because sometimes when I try to demonstrate portable radios, my lapel microphone just didn't pick it up always, and the audio at times was weak at best. So this way I'm hoping to get some really good audio so you guys could hear what I'm hearing. In my test, the microphone has picked up fairly decent without porting it in there. So I think either way we go, improvement is going to come as far as that's concerned. This microphone, yeah, it's not the greatest microphone in the world, but I picked it up for just a few dollars. Brand new. I think they sell for about 30 bucks. And it comes with the microphone and everything you need. And I think even the arm it came with. Now the arm, the scissor arm thing, it did come with it, but it was all broken up. I did have a lamp arm that I kept, and so I took parts from the mic arm and moved it over to the lamp arm, and it's working out just fine. So if this is something you're into or think you want to get into, less than $40 you can get this microphone. Of course, soundboard, I bought that used. I paid 50 bucks for the soundboard. Microphone cords, you know, depending on what all you need, you're 10 bucks or so per cord. So it can get up there in investment, but it might improve your channel if you're thinking of going that route as well. And then you got to teach yourself how to sync the audio with your pulled audio with your reference audio, and that you're on your own. You and YouTube YouTube's going to be your friend on that. Back to the meat of the act. Aim the camera back down to here. Piece of paper. We got to talk about this piece of paper. While I was MIA from YouTube, working on the ranch has been keeping me rather busy, making great progress, and it's moving right along. I'm hoping for a earlier resolve, but I'm still looking at by the end of August I should have everything tidy and looking really, really well. Many of you know I don't have an outside antenna, so in that duration I did just that. I installed a antenna, and that's what this paper is all about. There's no picture, going to be no video, nothing sham wow. I'm no artist, at least on paper. Photography, another story. So here's what I've done. Here's the house, right? Lovely house. I actually meant to draw that bigger. There, now we could see with more than one eyeball. So here's the house that Jack built, but he didn't. But it sounds good for the story. Jack took 75 feet of wire and wrapped it around the house. Let's make this the front door. Okay, so took 75 feet of wire, wrapped it around the house. And if we go to, we redoodle the house, because Jack is apparently really good at carpentry work all of a sudden. Well, except for that sucks. So we'll call this the front. We'll call this the back. Makes sense? So we take our wire and we looped it around the house. We took 75 feet of antenna wire and looped it around the house, not a connection in the front. And this is a random end feed antenna wire. All right, so what we did was we took, actually, put the door over here. No door on the back of the house at this point. So see, Jack sucks. Don't hire Jack to build you a house. Moral of the story. 75-foot in-feed wire. We got the positive lead going into the house, into a hole in the house. So this is the positive feed of the wire. And then for the negative side of the wire, I had to stop and think, what in the world am I doing? I'm doodling, that's what I'm doing. So positive feed here. For the negative feed, we've got we took a 4-foot ground rod and we ran that almost all the way into ground. Got that ran mostly all the way through ground. We've got a little bit just up above that we took number 9, no, I don't know what, really thick, fat copper, solid copper wire, and I'll put it on the screen what I did. I have to look at my purchase, what I bought. And then we ran that somewhere. We took, so this is 4-foot rod, and then from there I took 9-foot. I took a 9-foot grounding rod and I buried that in ground. So this is 9 foot horizontally, and I dug a trench of 12 foot because I apparently didn't know when to stop at 9 foot by 10 inches wide by 12 inches deep. And as I'm digging that, I'm thinking, my goodness, I should have done this with my excavator. This would have made it so much easier because the ground was a little damp. And then it dawned on me, I don't have an excavator. So I kept digging and got it buried. And then what I did is I took this copper wire and I ran 4 foot to it because that's how far it was, and then I bent this wire so it's still a continuous run back to the grounding mount here. So 9 foot and then another 4 foot section here, which is actually 8 foot. So I've got all that for grounding system. What I did up on the house is I put a heck with it. I took a grounding block. I think this is a 8-port grounding block. I took my grounding rod wire and I ran to one of them, which then makes this whole block active. And so for my end feed wire, which is positive, I went to a 9-to-1 balun and ran wire here, and then I ran a wire there. Actually ran it off of this port here. And over here is a 50 ohm SO239, which then runs my coax, which is R216. And that goes into the house. I then took another wire from my grounding rod, and then I ran it over here to my SO239, and I grounded my SO239 coming out over here. I was experiencing some QRM, some pretty heavy QRM, which is noise. So I purchased another device, which is called, hold on, I'm trying to think of what it's called, a CRC, no, stand by, let me look it up. This is a CMC, common mode choke, and I tried this at the radio level, didn't cut down too much, so I ended up putting this at the antenna level. So now I got this common mode choke at the antenna level, and then this goes into the house. All my feed line that I'm using is R216. So that's what I have going for me now. I put this block up just in case I'm temporarily put up some antennas. Now, my intent is not to put up more antennas, although I would really enjoy putting up more antennas. But my intent is really to get the flock out of California as fast as I can. However, that may be, you know, a couple of years down the road for one reason or another. Yes. We hate California. California sucks. Don't move here. Not unless you're a diehard liberal and you love to be locked down by a really big dictator. Then come. You'll have fun here. You and your dictator. Why is this? Why do we need to know this? Well, for future radio projects and for this video, temporarily for this video. Onward and awkward.